Yo guys, what's up? It's James Aroni, and finally here it is, Plagueburner Moze. This is the Moze build that people have been begging me to talk about and post for so long, so here it is. It's gonna be like a quick breakdown. It's a pretty straightforward build, and I've even seen people running sort of similar stuff, but just a couple things that kind of hold it back. And so, yeah, it's pretty simple. Anyway, we'll start off with the skills. You can either do 5 out of 5 in Cloud of Lead or match set, just your preference. If you don't want fire damage, if you want to proc shock to, fill up your transformer, then I would recommend against, doing Cloud of Lead, Stoked Embers, and firing the Skag Den. And if you just want bigger mag size and you're using a lot of the same manufacturers like Vladolf and Torg, such as this build is, go ahead and drop points in match set. Don't really need Stoke the Embers unless you want some sort of incendiary bonus. That's the best incendiary bonus that Moze has, really. So, redistribution, ammo regen. We're gonna get crits from our nades, and also from our launchers at home and whatnot. Scrappy, basic, pure weapon damage, weapon swap speed, mode switch speed. Really helps with mobility, especially with the heavy ass weapons we're using. Russian offensive. I used to consider this optional, but now I say it's essential because of the lifesteal. Between that and Vampire, where Moze is going to be a tank at most times, mostly for the higher fire rate and scorching RPMs. The crit damage is nice, but we're not consistently hitting crits, so it's not that big of a deal. However, the fire rate really helps with launchers, getting out more rockets per second or per minute, however you want to calculate that. Bigger mag and match set and all that is great because the less time you spend reloading, the more time you can spend shooting, and that's higher DPS. Something for the road in case you want to use splash damage or elemental ASEs and just get out of Iron Bear and start spamming. You could take 1 point from Scorching RPMs and put it into Click Click, and to be honest, I might end up doing that. Yeah, Click Click is really good. It got a huge buff, and definitely throw at least 2 points into it, maybe even 3. And Forge, ammo regen. Again, less time reloading is more time shooting. Blue Tree. Grizzled, this is spec'd to use the splash damage anoint, so we're going to be getting in and out of Iron Bear to activate that. This build also comes with, consecutive hits is the anointment I used in the Guardian Takedown solo True Mayhem 10. So you don't need the splash damage action skill on the anoint. In fact, I hate getting in and out of Iron Bear. So consecutive hits and also unhealthy radiation is the way I usually go. But both work, it just depends on your playstyle. If you want to use like shock weapons to proc your transformer and fill it up, then again, probably better off with Grizzled than Stoke or Fire and Skag Den here. Means of Destruction, this is to again regen ammo. We're going to be doing tons of splash damage between our rockets and our grenades, so this is going to proc a lot. Toward Cross Promotion finally adds splash damage, so we're going to add that, and bigger splash radius is also very helpful. 3 out of 3 on Pull the Holy Pin. Again, our grenades, we're using the tracker, and that's going to be used to proc our consecutive hit stacks, our Vampire, Pull the Holy Pin for redistribution, and all that. So 3 out of 3 in that. Of course, 5 out of 5 in Vampire, our main source of health. You can throw whatever points into why can't I carry all these grenades as you want. I don't deem it a necessary skill, but I don't like to run out of grenades, so if you want to throw some more points in other skills, be my guest, but I always throw at least 1 point in here because especially in the Guardian Takedown, I've gotten to some sticky situations where extra grenades would really help. To the Last is very helpful because you can chuck your grenades while you're down, and with the new Guardian rank skill, well, not new, but sort of new, Too Angry to Die, those grenades will actually fill up your Fight for Your Life, and you can actually be pretty tanky and last very long in Fight for Your Life without any bonus passives for it. Explosive Punctuation to get Iron Bear cooled down as fast as possible. This is for proccing the splash damage ASC anointments, and also because really is nowhere else to spend the points. This kind of layout makes it possible to use either consecutive hits or URAD without Iron Bear, or use splash damage ASE with Iron Bear. It's kind of up to you how you like to play the game. Personally, I don't like to get in and out of Iron Bear. I don't mind doing it for more damage, but I like leaving my builds up for people to kind of tweak them a little bit to use them their way. And Short Fuse, it's a really good skill, does a lot of damage. With rockets, it's not as effective as it is with something that shoots more projectiles and shoots faster, but when you shoot that rocket that procs Short Fuse, It does tons of damage. And of course, target softening with Iron Bear. To go over the gear, all rocket launchers. Anything that has splash works well, but mainly rocket launchers. Plagueburner and Backburner are my weapons of choice. I have Mongols. I don't really use it, but they're good for mobbing as well and some bossing. I think Plaguebearer is the best rocket for mobbing, and Backburner is the best rocket for bossing, and also very good for mobbing too. What could be the strongest weapon in the game, to be honest. It's fantastic. Consecutive hits, also unhealthy radiation, and high health breaker on ion cannons for bossing as well. And then some options could also be the Globetrotter. The Scourge still works pretty well. Basically any rocket that's ever been meta will work with this build, but you're going to get most of your DPS out of the Plaguebearer and the Backburner. Shield, I use Transformer specifically to use a Shock Backburner to fill my Transformer. You can use an ASC anoint if you want. I prefer the Max Shield anoint because I only use Iron Bear when I'm in the shits and need to get to cover and heal. But yeah, Cloning Mag Tracker for healing. Another shield I have is Old God. This is for damage. Transformer I really only run in Guardian Takedown. Everywhere else I have enough survivability to run an Old God and get that bonus damage, and the elemental damage resistance is enough to hold me over. But yeah, and also I have action skill and anointments on all of those. Go over to the artifacts. If you're going to use bloodletter, if you're going to use bloodletter, Snowdrift Deathless. You can have any prefix. Flesh Melter might also be good, especially for the Guardian Takedown. But I like the speed. I like being able to slide out of sticky situations very quickly. So yeah, Snowdrift Deathless is my preferred artifact. Deathless is definitely the one you want to use with bloodletter overall, but any prefix you can use is preferred. Prefix is not important to damage here, but I just like, because we're using nothing but rocket launchers, that extra movability from the mobility from Snowdrift really helps. Bloodletter, we're getting Desperate Measures, gun damage, we're getting Phalanx Doctrine stacks, and we're also getting the ability for Deathless to proc, so we can use the unhealthy radiation. Of course, Bloodletter and Deathless is a ye old combo. They work very well together. And I find that this is the way to get the most splash damage, but you can also throw on a Blastmaster and a Pearl, and these work fantastic as well. It's just that you have to really make sure you don't reload, and with some of these rockets consuming 3 to 4 ammo per shot, you may very well accidentally reload without even noticing, or start spamming too much and have to reload. So if you can manage your ammo better, you might get some more damage with Blastmaster and a Pearl. But Bloodletter and Snowdrift Deathless is my careless way to play this build. Just spam the rockets and do consistent damage. So yeah, that's pretty much the build. I will show some clips after this, as I already did before this video started, of some mobbing and some bossing of what it can really do. And yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you like this build, please like the video. If you didn't like the build, tell me to fuck myself in the comments and dislike the video. And yeah, subscribe for another decent Moze build 3 months from now. And I hope this helps you guys complete the Guardian Takedown. I know it's not an easy thing to do, even with the new HP scaling, and people have been having some real trouble with Moze. And while this is a crazy, absurd build filled with rockets, it's still very fun and it works. And so with all that being said, yeet guys. Hey guys, I just wanted to take a few moments at the end of this video to thank everybody that's been supporting me through everything going on around this build and this takedown run. I just wanted to point out that this was the build I used for this run on June 15th, and that this was uploaded on June 15th. I actually did it on the 14th. So I wanted to get that out of the way because there is another build that's going around that's a little bit conflicting with this one. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that we got that out of the way. You can check if you need more proof, you can go ahead and check the video. At the end, I show off my gear and my skills at the end of the takedown. But I just wanted to kind of go back and show that this was this was my build, and it's Plagueburner Moze. And I used it to beat the Guardian takedown on true takedown, and it was hard as hell, but it did it. And I probably could have had more damage with something like Blastmaster or the Pearl on, but I wanted survivability. That was my priority, and that's what I went with. Anyway, you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you.